it's Brian here. Today talking about the San Francisco 49ers. As always, looking at the top 3 players that need to prove themselves in 2020, whether it's in training camp, offseason programs, or in the preseason, regular season. Just any of these times, these players need to show up and show out before they potentially might get cut by this team. So, very pivotal year for these guys in my opinion. Hopefully they do really well. I want everybody to succeed in San Francisco, but sometimes expectations become disappointments. Anyways, going to get the video started, but before I do, please like and subscribe. That's going to definitely help me out a lot. Click that bell notification to get notified of future videos. Share this channel, share this content with fellow Niner faithfuls. Let's get this started. 49ers top 3 players that must prove themselves during 2020 offseason to potentially stay on the team. Number 3, this is going to be a weird one, but Matt Breida. He is going to be a restricted free agent coming up in this free agency period, but if they do sign him, he is definitely going to need to prove himself because the running back position is loaded. It is stacked. Breida did really well in 2019 early on, then he had an ankle injury that necessitated him to be out for a little bit, and then he got outshined by Tevin Coleman, Raheem Mostert. Those two guys, they showed up and showed out. Breida, he was kind of lost in the shuffle. He had a couple of fumbles that Kyle Shanahan probably didn't like at all. The one in particular against the Falcons, that was probably not the good one right there. That was probably the end of his time for 2019. It was just all about Coleman and Mostert for the rest of the season, all the way to the Super Bowl. Breida, a lot to prove. I still think he could be a great running back. I think it was more nagging injuries than anything else. Ball security is going to be a little bit of a concern now. We thought Mostert had the problem with this whole ball security thing, but it might be Breida's turn to get this whole syndrome, whatever you want to call it. This is a pivotal offseason for him. If he does stay with San Francisco, I'm pretty sure the 49ers, they can find some way, shape, or form to keep him at least into the offseason programs, to training camp, preseason. He does still have value in this team, in my opinion, but the clock is ticking for him, definitely. He really needs to prove himself this offseason. I think it's pivotal for him. We'll see what happens then. But Breida, rooting for you. Number 2, wide receiver Dante Pettis. I kept saying this for the past couple of videos now, but yeah, he is in Kyle Shanahan's doghouse. We all know that by now. He barely played at all in 2019. He got outshined by Emmanuel Sanders coming from the Denver Broncos, Deebo Samuel, other guys like Kendrick Bourne. These guys, they were able to show up and show out, and Pettis was kind of lost in the whole offense thing. The most notable game that I can see him playing all year in 2019 was the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, where he had a game-clinching touchdown. That was impressive, but other than that, he rarely played at all. Shanahan was definitely not happy with him. I don't know if it was his route running or he said something bad about him, his weight problems, something like that. It was not good at all for Shanahan and Pettis. There was some bad blood, I would think, behind closed doors. It is what it is. Pettis, he really has to prove himself in 2020. I still believe him as a wide receiver. He's shown a lot of great flashes in his first year in 2018. Last year was just a sophomore slump, so hopefully he might be able to rebound and do really well, barring any injuries, barring any weight problems. Him and Jimmy Garoppolo, they can hook up together definitely in 2020, but he definitely has to show up and show out during the offseason programs from minicamp all the way to the preseason. If he does, he's in good graces, but if not, then he will get cut by Shanahan and Lynch, which they probably won't be hesitant to cut him at all, despite being a second rounder. So Pettis, a lot of high hopes for him. He can also compete for the returner spot along with Richie James. We'll see what happens then. A lot to prove. Hopefully he does well. I'm rooting for him, but it's not looking good at all right now as in this video. Number 1, the player that has to prove themselves in 2020 offseason programs is cornerback Ahkello Witherspoon. You want to talk about a player that had really big highs and really big lows. This is the man right here. One of the most inconsistent players in San Francisco right now. I don't know what to make of him. He could be one of the great cornerbacks in the NFL. I wouldn't say best, but he could be up there as a pretty good cornerback all the way until pretty much a bum, essentially. You look at 2019, is this the epitome of that. First couple of games before he got injured, he was one of the top cornerbacks in the NFL along with Richard Sherman. They were just doing awesome things. Then he got hurt. Emmanuel Moseley took over. He did really well. They put him back in the starting lineup. I forgot what game exactly. It just went down south after that. He almost cost us a couple of games. The one in week 17 against the Seahawks, they did put Moseley back in. He did a really good job on covering DK Metcalf. Look at the divisional round against the Minnesota Vikings. He did a terrible job against Stephon Diggs on that first drive, and then they yanked him out, put Moseley in. They were able to win the game by a big margin because of that. Witherspoon, he's been outshined by Moseley many times this whole 2019 season. In 2020, they got to compete to see who's going to be the top quarterback. I don't know. It's going to be very tough for him to get his confidence back. I mean, when you lose your confidence in the NFL, you can lose it for good. Hopefully, it was just an injury thing. He can get back on his foot. I'm still trying to be a fan of his. I'm pretty sure some of you guys are trying to support him as well, but it's been very difficult for the past whole career for him ever since he got drafted in 2017. Witherspoon, the most pressure out of anybody in San Francisco. We'll see if he can handle it. I don't know. It's going to be very difficult, but if he gets cut before the regular season starts, I would not be surprised at all if they go with Mosey or somebody else in free agency or the draft. That's pretty much it, you guys. Please let me know who you guys got for players with something to prove in 2020. I'd like to hear what you got to say in the comments below. If you guys like this, please like and subscribe. That's going to help me out a lot. I'll be catching you guys up tomorrow on a Thursday. I'll see y'all then. Bye, guys. Love y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Go Niners all day. Hot boys.